Good morning, my all, my lovies, my lights, my loves. Good morning. Al, I yielded. I'm going to tell you some stuff, and I don't want you to, for any reason, to think that I am condoning this, nor recommending it. It's a pattern that Father and I have that we're breaking, but it's a long established behavior, and well, I'm very fortunate that he loves me greatly, and he's very patient, because we're going to get it broken. So, I've been saying my whole life to people, I fight with Father. And when I say I fight with Father, knock down, drag out, name calling, cussing, how dare you, I hate you, screaming matches with Father. And I always have. Now, like I said, I'm not saying I condone that, because I do not. I'm not saying that I recommend it, because I do not. But I've had some pretty heinous experiences in my life. Not allowed to die. No out aloud. My only option was sleep. So, I fight with Father. And eventually I yield. Well, that's where we are this morning. This is the other side of, I call Uncle. I yield. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. It will be a somber day. And I need that humility sometimes. So, you see, my name has brought me great turmoil in my life. The handle associated with my name has brought me great turmoil in my life. Because like you, I live in this world, wrapped in this flesh, with critical, judgmental, unkind people who think they know something. They must think they know something, or they have no ability to validate themselves. So, in order for them to know something, everybody else must know very little or nothing. I'm used to that. And that has been strongly implemented around my name throughout my life. See, we've talked about my name before. What we haven't talked about is how terrified I am. No, I was. Of my own name. Can you imagine that? Growing up terrified of your name because you know what it means. You have an inkling of what is to come. You've been told by the strangest people your entire life that you're at the end of the times and that your love is critical. And never understanding that. And then having to explain to people that your name means divine. Now, I live in a small blue-collar town, y'all. Like most of you would say, oh, I live in a small town. And then you'd come to mine and go like, oh my God, you live in a small town. There's not a lot of people that live in towns much smaller than this. So, it's different. I assure you. It's very different. When you live in this town in December of 1969, and you name your daughter something that equivalates to divine, everybody takes notice of the crazy chick who named her daughter after God, okay? Oh, I have been terrified of my name. Always. Well, Naughty took care of that. Thank you, Naughty. His lessons have brought great freedom and peace to my life as he validates some things that I've known for a very long time that were terrifying to me because I did not understand them. And other information he's brought forward has helped with calming that fear and bringing me to the knowledge and the acceptance of who I am, why I'm here, and what my job is. And I've known y'all for a while now that I'm supposed to participate in healing the all. Love you. Light your path. Carry you when you can't do it. And help you become whole and healthy so that we can go home. Because y'all don't get to go if you don't get well. Getting well is not what you think it is. Because you're defining that through the lenses of this world that we live in, not through the wholeness of who you were as in your creation. So wellness is not what you think it is, but we're gonna get there. Because what is something you don't know about me? Well, maybe you do. So when I feel less than or weakened, well, nowadays just when I just feel compelled, right? I create recovery systems. It's just something I've done as a habit. Excuse me just a moment. Sorry about that. My eyes are burning this morning. Might be this stupid makeup. Not a fan. I go to court with a family this morning. And I always like to give the judge absolutely no reason to look down upon my families when we're at their mercy. So sometimes I have to put on some pretty tough masks. Because the last thing that a judge wants to see in his courtroom is a lighthouse. They don't like that. They do not like that at all. No, they don't. You know, I have got to find a pause button on this phone. But I don't know where it is. I'm getting better at this, y'all. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be a long one because there's a lot of stuff you don't know about me that I must bring to you in order to eliminate any fears you may have in following me and others like me who are here to help you heal. See, and there's more, and they know who they are. There's more to come. We are healers. And we are going to heal the all together. And then together we're going to bring you guys home. But you must be well. And we're starting with fear because that is the common denominator that I am reading everywhere. I'm afraid. I don't understand. I'm confused. I'm worried. All right. Those are barriers. But I can't expect you to trust me and think that I can be of any benefit to you if you don't know anything about me and why I think I can help. So we're starting with this channel's name change that took place late last night. Father always wins. That one was a long, hard-fought victory on his part that took the participation of many of you right now. Many of the other channels I follow that don't follow this and that probably don't even know what I'm doing over here. That's okay. They don't need me anyway. I didn't come for them. They're already doing what they need to do. I'm here to help you. Oh, you guys. So, my name, right? A lot of flack. Things along the lines of divine. Who do you think you are? God. That one was pleasant, right? That one was pastor. Nice. Gotta love those Christian pastors because they're so loving and considerate and kind. At least none of the ones I've met. I mean, anyway. Sorry, I'm in a little bit of a feisty mood this morning. Maybe I shouldn't post this one. I gotta take a pause and contemplate because I might have just blown at you guys. Nah. I ain't boring like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna take a pause and then we'll come back. The house is getting busy and noisy. Oh my gosh, here comes that little critter. Sorry. Just I get to have family around me right now, and it's truly a blessing. I've been alone and single for a very long time. I have relationships that come and go in my life, and I have a relationship that you guys would kind of go, that's a relationship? You know, to each their own. Father's making movements there, so, you know, things happen as they happen. But my name. Oh, I've heard all kinds of things. Was your daddy drunk, doll? Because I don't know why he'd call you divine. Didn't stop him from hitting on me, though. Right? Conflict. People are just strewn with this conflict. You know, or you wouldn't be talking with me right now. You're conflicted. You don't understand. You're worried and you're fearful. I understand. I've been there. And you know, recently I discovered I get there still. The other day, a door knocker person, right, for politics came to my front door. And I don't usually answer the door because you don't have to. And I don't want to, so I don't, right? But I was compelled. And I didn't even know who it was. So I answered the door. I don't like that. So this quite polite and professional young man is standing on my porch, right? Sorry, you guys, I cannot hit this day without some coffee. And I'm spending my time with you, so the coffee is not getting properly infused through my veins in the IV bag that I have by my chair. So we have to do it the old-fashioned, slow way in the sip and talk. I'm so far behind on my intake right now. But I love you, so it's okay. But that means you're sharing my cup with me this morning as I sip through it. Anyway, so there's this young man on the door who I have opened it. And he's holding these political brochures in his hand. And he starts his spiel about wanting to talk to me about upcoming elections and voting. And I stopped him very politely and I said, oh, I appreciate your time today. And thank you for taking the time to come to my door personally and invest in me in that manner. I really appreciate that. However, I am not voting anymore. So I really don't think you need to waste your time with me, and you can take your brochures and you can spend them on somebody else. Oh my gosh, you'd have thought I just smacked his mama, y'all. Dang! Furious. Eye rolls and huff and puffs. It was like a cartoon, like watching one of them little babies on the cartoon get mad and the steam come out of their ears. Because compared to me, it was pretty young. Which is great. It's great to see young people involved in something. You know, they're not quite there yet, so they're participating in something that they believe in, which means they have the capacity to believe. They have the capacity for devotion and loyalty, and they have the capacity for activism. So that's cool. That's good. That was a good, it's a good indicator to me from that particular young person on my door that they could make a difference in the world if they could get their head out of their butt and figure out what reality was. He didn't make a very good impression on the way out. He frightened me. And I didn't think I could get frightened by something, but he frightened me. He was leaving all huffy puffy, and I'm still smiling. And, I'm not even going to go into my reasons why, because he's not capable of hearing them. Up until a few months ago, I was like the voter registration pusher queen. Vote. If you don't speak your mind at the polls, I don't want to hear your opinion later. Oh, I was horrible. I knew that it was all the same within each party, and I knew there was a lot of crossing over where it was a lot of the same, and I'd been learning a lot about agendas, but I still actually thought there was a line between one side and the other. I know better now, and I don't waste my time on any of that anymore. The Clintons have gotten plenty of my rage and ire. The Democrats have gotten plenty of my rage and ire. The Republicans have gotten plenty of my rage and ire. As you can tell, I don't go either of those, right? Not me. I'm more for what the person represents than the party, because party is groupthink, hive mind, and it's hive mind against my mind, so I don't like it. Just don't like it, right? Yeah, I get a little fiery sometimes. Sorry about that. I got distracted. Focus, Jana. Focus. So, as the young man's leaving, I didn't really think anything about it. And then something in me compelled me to pause and pay attention. So as he was leaving, I noticed he wrote down my address and he took a picture of the license plate of my car. Y'all, what reason, aside from some form of political terrorist regime tactics, would he need for my address and the license plate of my car when all I said to him was that I won't be voting anymore? That frightened me for about a minute. And then I was like, please kill me. I'm good. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. It finally all makes sense and I have a mission now. Okay, wait. I'm good. Don't kill me yet. Give me a minute. I got some people to help. Okay, anyway, I'll get serious again. You guys don't need me wasting your morning with silliness, but that was frightening to me. And I had to really dig to figure out, why am I afraid of that? And that will be one of the things that you'll learn, that you're going to have to learn along this journey. I'm not even kidding you guys. I am not trying to be bossy or dominating. I'm simply being absolutely honest with you. You will have to learn to get to the foundational core of every single one of these, or you will not bust that barrier and you will not get out of this system of hell. Now, I might have given you the wrong impression a few minutes ago when I said that I create systems. That is not entirely as it would mean in defined in this world. When I say I design a recovery system, I'm designing a therapeutic interaction or a healing interaction that helps another person get to where they want to be as much on their own and utilizing their own supports and resources as possible with as little interference and assistance from anything in this world as possible. That is what I design when I say I design a recovery system. In most cases, there will have to be some form of government involvement with regards to insurance, because in order to make a difference in the world, you have to bend and yield to some of its rules sometimes. But Global Witness has a really good knowledge of business plans that can be, so maybe someday I'll be able to approach him and ask him about that, but it's not relevant right now. Back on track. I'm sorry, as you can tell, it's a very distracted morning and I would not plan on making this video this morning. Sorry, and there's no pause button, you're just kind of stuck watching me go through a mental breakdown on my screen right now. So, I'm sorry. Give me a minute, I'll be right back. So, you're witnessing the joys of life with a traumatic brain injury. Traumatic brain injuries come in lots of different modalities. They're acquired in a lot of different ways. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand a concussion is a traumatic brain injury. So some of the challenges that go along with the effects of my traumatic brain injury are easily distractions, losing my train of thought, stumbling over my words, and I try and put a great deal of preparation into things for your comfort and your convenience. I'm used to the effects of it, and I'm used to how people respond to it, and you know, I'm used to the things that can be said that aren't necessarily nice about it. So my efforts are for your comfort, because I don't want to distract from your ability to learn because of my fidgetiness or other effects of things that I live with in my life. But at the same time, perspective alters are good. And sometimes that's what we get when we have to try and interact with other people with different abilities, which is something I actually teach in my practice to parents. When they're like, I need a different social worker. That one doesn't like me and we don't get along. And that's not going to be the first place we go in that scenario. And they're not going to be happy with me about it, I assure you. But they're going to learn from it. And in the end, they're going to be thankful and appreciative, because where we're going to go in that scenario is, how do we learn to get along and make progress with exactly what we have available to us? without making ego demands about accommodating my personality because my personality doesn't like your personality. Now, I'm doing that for you because I want you to be able to learn and heal. And as the person who's leading this channel, I have an obligation and a responsibility to do that. But outside of this channel, that would never happen. And it wouldn't be in your best interest. Anyway, way off track again. So this channel's name is now Divine Renegade. And my name is Deanna. And my purpose here is healing, wellness, recovery, wholeness, love, light, wisdom, and the fast track back home to Papa, because man, he misses us so much. And I miss him so bad. It's been a long time since I got to sit on his lap, and I miss it. So we got to get this done. Get it done and get out of here. Our time here is over. So I grew up terrified of my name, and it wasn't until late last night that I was able to say, I am divine. I am sovereign. I am free. And I am a renegade. But not only am I a renegade, I'm the renegade from what I've learned in my life. I am Divine Renegade, and you can call me Deanna. And we're going to heal together. And it's going to be beautiful. And we're starting with fear, and I've started today with exposing to you a couple of mine. Now, I don't have a lot of fears anymore. Sometimes they flare, and they're gone rather quickly. But I want out of here. And I'm not afraid of death. And I'm no longer afraid of the manner of dying, because I will be spared that second death. And I'm going to have a couple of examples of what that actually means for you. And then maybe you'll be less fearful of it too. Because I know as women, inherently, there's a couple of things that we are inherently terrified of. It's like it's in our bones. I think they design us to be terrified of it because they like that negative energy, right? So as women, females, inherently we are terrified of sexual assault, rape. Yes, we are. It's innate in us. But once you've already experienced it and survived it, and once you can honestly say to yourself, I have had more forced sex than consensual sex in my life, that one is no longer a big deal. But not everybody has those experiences, so we need to figure out, how do you survive and get through fears? Another inherent fear that females, well, I think everybody has, is death. Now that one is intriguing to me because that's not one I've experienced. I've welcomed death every time. And I've sought it most. But that's just because I don't like being in this heat. It's so cold, you guys. It's so cold in these bodies. It's freezing in here. Never get warm. I'm tired of being cold. I want to go home. And we're going to get there together. And I am just done rambling because whatever it is I was supposed to say, I'm pretty sure I've said it. And now I have to go and use the appropriate words in the appropriate timing, in the appropriate mood, with the appropriate intent for some very, very fragile meat suits and the beautiful lights that reside within them. And it's going to take everything I've got. So I've started my day giving you my all, to my all, because you are my all. And now I'm going to go forth and shine what light I have left into the dark corners of this very small town that has a very large dark cloud hanging over it. There's these books, I think I might have talked about them before, by a man named Frank Peretti. And when I read those books the first time, now mind you, I probably read each of them 100 times or more. They're part of my soul. And the first time I read each of them, it was like I was reading about my home where I lived, where I was born, this very town I'm sitting and talking to right now. It was almost an exact description. I knew those feelings. I knew those faces. I knew those beings and those entities. I knew that darkness. And I don't think he was writing those books about this place where I live, but knowing so very much about the lessons that were contained within them, I am very much more prepared to know exactly what I'm dealing with out there. And it took a long time for my armor to get repaired after that brutal, brutal assault at the beginning of the summer. Almost knocked me off my track. I was ready to call it. I'm done. I don't want to take my light and leave me behind. I was there. But that armor has been repaired, and it is gleaming and glowing. And it is stronger than ever, and we're going off. Heidi ho, forward we go, onward into the fray. Y'all have a great day.